Hey everyone, welcome to this week's episode. Today we're going to be saving you some more money, specifically going over, I don't know if it's going to be 10 things specifically, but a list of things that I no longer buy. My hopes here are that you can adapt some of these to your own lifestyle, save some money, and spend that money maybe in a better way or just on something that's more meaningful to you. But without too much delay, let's start this list. Alright, well obviously you're watching this on YouTube, so I'm sure that if this is something you've researched before, you've seen many of these videos on people trying to save you money. The first one is always the same. It's coffee, it's drinks, it's paying for bottles of water when you're out. That saves me a couple $100 every year easily. So by not buying coffee or bottles of water or drinks with your, fast food when you're out, this can save you a few bucks a week easily, but you compound that over the year and it can be $500-600, no problem. So, I'm not saying go without. If you're thirsty, get a drink. But if you can plan a little bit ahead and bring a water bottle or have a coffee in the morning before you leave, so that that's kind of checked off your list already, guaranteed you're going to save a few bucks every day. I don't know the cost of making a coffee at home for me, but coffee creamer is like $3 and it lasts me a couple weeks. Coffee lasts me a couple months and it's probably 10 or 15 bucks. So I'd imagine I'm less than 50 cents a cup. Now compared to like a standard coffee, $2, that's not a huge savings. But if you're the one that's going and buying, say, Starbucks or these designer kind of drinks, is that a thing? Fancy drinks? I don't know. I don't buy this shit clearly. But if you're spending $5 a day on coffee, just think of the impact that really has. So the next thing I no longer buy is actually paper towel and napkins. I find that for me, I can buy a pack of tea towels and like little dishcloths once a year, and it's normally like a pack of say 20, 10 of each, and that lasts me the entire year. I can get that for say $15, so I'm talking like $1 a month kind of thing to have reusable cloths and napkins. And I don't know if I'm just getting old, but like using a fabric napkin is just a lot nicer for a meal. It's what you would see at a restaurant. It just makes sense. It's more sustainable. It's definitely more cost effective. But I would imagine that you're probably spending, if you're a family, easily $10 a month on this kind of stuff. So by buying reusable cloths for say $20, you're going to save your money within 2 months. So number 3 is actually shaving products. Now I still obviously use a razor, but like I'm not buying shaving cream or aftershave. I find just like the body wash or soap that I'm using already works totally fine. So clearly I'm shaving my head regularly. I've been doing this for a couple of years now, and it's no big deal. The way that I started doing this was I just ran out one day and just decided that I would, carry on without. And I had no issue, so there was no need to really start spending that money. Again, I'm not even sure what shaving cream costs anymore, but I would imagine it's between $5 and $8 a month for most people. If you have sensitive skin or some other issue that's not going to allow for this, then by all means pay for it. Okay, so the fourth thing I no longer buy is actually souvenirs. So one, we're traveling less these days, I'm sure, but I find that I was spending maybe $100 on every trip just bringing back t-shirts or magnets or just random little shit that people would maybe not even value. I would give it to them as a gift, think I was doing something nice, but really I'm just giving them clutter. Postcards are a nice way to let someone know you're maybe thinking of them while you're away, but just pop it in the mailbox. It's maybe $1 or $2. You don't need to be spending $100 or more on souvenirs that are just going to become clutter. My fifth thing on the list might vary drastically depending on who you are and how you're set up, but it's bank fees. So if you actually call your bank or when you're at the teller, just ask a question simply, how can I save these monthly fees? How can I get rid of these annual fees? For instance, last time I made this call, I went from an unlimited transaction account to like a very limited, maybe I think it's 10 transactions I get a month. But really that account is just paying off my credit card and like used for very, very minimal transactions in a month. So 10 is more than what I need. And if I was to go over, I would pay like $1 per transaction. But rather than spending $15 a month every month if I use it or not, even if I use 2 transactions over and pay $2, I'm still saving. Number 6 on my list is actually, I forget. Oh yeah. Number 6 on my list is express shipping. I find that there's not a big difference really, especially with like Amazon and companies that are sending out like thousands of shipments a day. Their priority is to get it out to you as fast as they can. So whether it's a day or two delayed, you can often save some money. There's still, you know, one-offs where I do pay for express shipping, but I find that most of the time, the reason I'm in that predicament is because I haven't planned properly. I do pay annually for Amazon Prime subscription, so I make sure to use that. This is something that maybe you haven't done the calculation on. So I think Prime is around $80 a year, so it's about $6 or $7 a month. So if you're not ordering one package a month, then it might not be worth you getting Prime. It might be okay just to pay $10 shipping here and there throughout the year, unless you're ordering regularly. Most companies now are offering free pickup or order it to the store, so that's an option that I use a lot more lately. So I can order something to the store that's convenient for me to pick it up rather than searching around. I don't know if I've... Hey, can I call you back in like 10 minutes?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Bye.
Bye. My sister Lindsay. What up, Lindsay? Actually, shout out to Lindsay. Lindsay is one of the people who got me using reusable cloths and dish towels and this kind of stuff. She's got a gem, like a complete gem of an old cloth. I'll put a picture up, and I don't know how many years this thing is, but she's been using it for a long time. This thing has probably saved her hundreds of dollars. It's an extreme example. Not everyone can keep a dishcloth this long, but if it's not broke, don't fix it, I guess. This is a prime example. Or if it's not finished, don't replace it, maybe. I don't know if I've been listing the numbers, but number 7 would be maximize your accounts. Share them, Netflix, YouTube Premium, Spotify, Apple, whether it's a family account that you can just get more value out of, whether you're sharing logins. Now I know that this is sometimes frowned upon, but maximize that. For instance, we already talked about Amazon Prime and how if you're not using one shipment a month, it's probably not worth it. Well, I didn't think of the video aspect. So maybe people are using the Amazon Prime Video or music so that it makes it more worthwhile. But certainly if you have access to that account and you're not using it, why not share it around? Number 8 is a very common one. That's delivery fees when ordering food online or over the phone. If you can pick it up, it's a lot cheaper. Or if you can make something at home, obviously that's the better option. But who are we kidding? It's 2020. Well, we're all ordering more food than ever. But I used to have this kind of rule where if I was ordering, say, pizza and it was $20, I know it's going to be like 28 or 30 after tax and delivery. That rule doesn't really apply anymore. I find if I'm ordering $20 worth of food online, sometimes it's closer to $40. Whether it's like convenience fees or surcharges, they really get you on those little fees. So again, if you can pick it up, call the restaurant, it's going to save you a lot of money. I'm using delivery quite a bit, you know, probably once a week. So I should really limit this one. I know I have friends and family who are guilty of delivering almost every day. So think about this. If you're paying $10 every day, that's a few $1,000s in the span of a year. I said thousand, not hundred. A few $1,000s on delivery. Think, if you're making, say, $30,000 a year and you're spending 2 or 3 on delivery, that's 10% of your wage. That is ridiculous. Smarten up. Number 8 and number 9 are kind of different. Number 9 is not a physical thing, but it's kind of a mindset. So number 9 is buying cheap things you're going to replace, or buying something that will do for now. Yeah, stop buying cheap things that you're going to have to replace. Again, this is my mindset. I clearly would rather live a life of having less things but being very happy with the quality of them. I'm sure we've all bought something that we've had to replace a lot sooner than we thought. One example for me when I was younger was actually my turntables. So one thing you might not know about me is that I like DJing and music production on the side as a hobby. So I bought turntables that I could afford at the time, but they weren't ones that I was in love with. They weren't ones that were going to make me happy for a long time, but I did it anyway to get started. And in hindsight, you know, I probably should have just held off for a few more months and really saved up for what I wanted. Now this is when I was, say, 18 years old, so it was really new and exciting, but I spent a lot of money that I didn't really need to. And then the next year I was replacing them, and I still have the ones that I replaced them with. So I know that that's the one that I'm happy with and it's the right fit. But I just wish that I had bought that first so that I didn't have to go through the growing pains of getting rid of my old ones and upgrading and spending that money eventually anyway. And the real one that I want you to take an impact from here. Sure, using reusable napkins and not buying coffee or delivery or calling your bank to reduce fees is going to save you money. But the biggest one I can really tell you is stop buying things to impress other people. They don't care. You might think that they care, or everyone, takes a note of what you're using or have or own. But in the grand scheme of things, people are so involved in what they're doing or what they want or have that they really don't give a shit about what you're doing. So I can think of countless examples for this, whether it's designer clothes, trips to places that you don't really want to go, but you just want to get the photos or say you've been there, or maybe a friend wants to go there, but you don't really want to. Whether it's buying a vehicle you can't afford just to fit in or look the part. Small example, AirPods. Everybody thinks they need wireless $300 headphones or else they're not good enough. It all does the same thing. And sometimes simple is better. I know that I'm sounding like an old man here, but sometimes the simple thing is the right fit. I've done this many times where I've bought things that I don't necessarily need, but everybody has, and I kind of feel like I need it at the time. But it's funny when you get it home or you get it in your hand and it really doesn't give you any sort of feelings of joy and you're kind of wishing you didn't buy it. Those are big opportunities to save money. Return it. Return it. Buy something, see how you like it. If you don't love it, return it. So kind of on that, a mindset that I have, or just like a way of looking at things, is I only buy things that I actually need now, or if I'm going to need it really soon. But for instance, just because it's on sale doesn't mean you need it. Black Friday, Christmas, all of these holidays are marketed to really get you to spend money that you don't, one, have, or two, that you could be spending better. I know a lot of people get caught up in, clothing sales, buy one, get one 50% off. But if you step back and think about that, it's really a fancy way to say, hey, if you buy two, I'm going to give you 25% off each. Would you actually buy two to save 25% off each? I don't know. I can apply this to groceries because this is one that I find like I have the biggest opportunity with. Say I want to buy a bag of carrots and they're buy one, get one 50% off. So now instead of spending $2 for a bag of carrots, I'm getting 2 bags for $1.50. I only need 1 bag of carrots. I'm not going to be able to eat them in the time. It's a good deal, but not one that I need. So kind of adapt that mindset. It's only a good deal if it's something that you need. And am I buying this for someone else or for myself? Stop impressing people, or stop trying to impress other people. So I hope you're able to apply some of these and save a few bucks. Even if you can save a couple bucks every week, compound that monthly, yearly, it's going to have an impact. So not only are you going to be saving money, but the money that you're saving you can now spend in ways that you want. And again, apply it to things that make you happy. Stop buying things to impress other people. Have a good week. Everybody, welcome to this episode's, no, I mess that up every time.